Hi guys, and welcome back to another video in this week's Java tutorial. So, like I promised, we're going to be making a Madlibs game for this week. So I'm so excited to do this with you guys. Again, it's one of my favorite things to do because it also always gives me a few smiles out of my students. So I can't wait to get started. So this is kind of our objective for the game. We're going to follow the template, which is just a pre-downloaded template. You can just search up Madlib templates online, and we're going to create our own following the model. So what we're going to do is we are going to print to the console and ask the user for random inputs. Now you can tell that these are going to be like nouns, places, adjective, pronouns, things like that. So this is traditionally a grammar lesson thing, but we can make it a little bit more creative, right? So after we print to the console, we're not going to let the user know what the words are surrounding it. So we're not going to give the user any context clues. We're just going to have them come up with random things on the spot. So we're going to save each of these inputs as a variable. And then finally, we're going to print out the final Madlibs with all the context clues and all the variables plugged in. And we're going to read it out loud, and hopefully it'll be pretty fun. Okay, so we're going to use scanner, the scanner class, to take multiple inputs, and all in all, just be creative and have fun, right? So let's go ahead and create our REPL. New Java, and we can call it Madlibs game, and create our REPL. I think it called it something else, but it's okay. Alrighty, so the first thing that I want to do actually is kind of set up our template so we know what we're going for here, right? So template for Madlibs. So obviously we're using print lines to print to the console. So we're going to use the command system.out.println. So now let's take a look at the template that I have here. The first line is going to be, last summer my mom and dad took me and person on a trip to some place. So let's do that. Last summer, my mom and dad took, is it me and? Took me and, okay, me and so instead of anything else here, I'm going to do curly braces with person. Now over here, I'm just setting a placeholder because we know in a minute that this person is actually going to be the variable that we save the input as. So person to, and then place for vacation. So that is our first line, right? Matches the things exactly. Then we're going to say the weather there is very blank. So let me go ahead and do that as well. So system.out.println. It always makes me laugh whenever I see what we come up with because these adjectives are completely random. So you as the coder know what you're going to do, but if you play this with your parents, with your friends, it'll be pretty fun. So the weather there is, and I feel like we're going to use lots of adjectives, so adjective 1. All right, now what is our next line? Again, you see here that I'm really just using one idea of system.out.println, but we're going to be creating most of our Madlibs game for that. Let's see, we'll probably just do half of this. Northern, and then the place has many pronoun, and they make blank blank there. Okay, so we'll do the next 2 sentences and then we'll stop. So, northern place has many pronoun, and they make has many plural noun 1, and they make many. So now we'll see here we need adjective 2, and then we're also going to need another plural noun. So plural noun 2 there. Next line and then last line is another system.out.println. There we go. What does it say? It says the people, nope, many people also go to blank to visit, to action verb, or see the blank. Okay, so many people also go to Many people also go to. Again, I'm going to keep the place consistent because I feel like it's going to be a lot easier that way. To blank or see the blank or see the, and then we have plural noun 3. Okay, so now we have our template. So notice that when I run my code, these words, these lines are going to get printed out onto the screen, right? But you'll see that instead of our input here, we get the actual things in curly braces. So we actually physically get the words that I write out here, which is not what we're going for, but it's a pretty good start for us, right? So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take user input. Now, I told you guys in our last video, and I highly recommend you go watch the video for user input because this is literally what we're doing in this game. We're going to use scanner. So this is saying the scanner class. Then over here we use our scanner name. So, and then we set it equal to new scanner. So, and since we're taking in inputs, we're going to say system.in. So this is the line to take in input using the scanner class. Now, since the scanner class, we need to import it, we say import java.util, which is the package, .scanner. So we add this to the top of our code, and now we have successfully created our scanner. Now, since we're a little bit more advanced now, I'm going to change the scanner name to scanner, but I still want you guys to know that this second scanner here is not anything fancy, it's just the name, right? Okay. So this is not really taking user input. This is creating scanner. Then underneath this, go ahead and start taking user input. There we go. Now our first question here, notice, is that it's going to ask us for a person. So not console.log, wrong language, guys. System.out.println. Right, and now we're just going to ask a question. Please give a person. And so it's going to ask us for a person. Now, since we're asking them for a person, we need to make sure that we take the inputs, right? So from our last video, we learned that we do this by doing scanner. So the name of the scanner dot next. Now, since we want to take the entire next line and not just the next word, go ahead and add next line. Assign this to our variable called string place. Remember, every time we do our variable, we have to list the data type in front here. So we're saying the variable, the string variable called place, is going to be, it's going to have a value of whatever comes next when we ask for the input. So first input down, right? If you run your code just to make sure that it's working, you're going to see that it does, come on, load. It does indeed ask for a person. So say we use Sunny for now. And then it's just going to print this out again like we told it to. So not exactly quite there yet, but we're getting there. We have one. So now the next thing we need to do is just take more user inputs, right? Next, no, not next line. So again, print out the question because you need to let them know what you're trying to ask for. So what are we trying to ask for this time? This time after place, a person, you'll see it's to a place. So please give a place. Then again, so one thing that I really want to emphasize here is that since we asked a new question, we can just, again, do scanner.next line because it's just going to take the next line of whatever comes after this printed line. So again, we'll assign that to a string variable, so string place. Hold on. I just realized that this should be person. There we go. So we'll notice that these are the exact same thing. And because we're asking a different question every single time, we'll be using essentially this format for all of the questions. Easy peasy, right? So go ahead and do the rest of them. System.out.println. And then next one, which are we looking for now? After place, we have adjective. Please give your first adjective because we'll have a few more to go. And then say string adjective 1 and set it equal to the next line that comes after the scanner, right? So again, we're using the same logic for everything. That's why I like this. It's great for beginners because once we understand the core concept, we just apply that multiple times. But it's also a fun game. Okay, so that line is done. Go ahead and go on to your next one. So now we're looking for a plural noun. Please give your first plural, that was not spelled correctly, plural noun. Go ahead and take your plural noun 1 as whatever comes on the next line. There we go. Now I just realized I might have asked for way too many inputs as this is taking a little bit of a long time, but it's okay. We'll power through it. All right, next one after adjective 1, let's see, we have after plural noun 1, we have adjective 2, plural noun 2, and plural noun 3. Okay, so please give another adjective. And so now here, we'll take the adjective 2, adjective 2, as whatever comes on your next line. You'll see Replit is being very helpful and is prompting a lot for me. Now, I feel like I'm taking too long to just type things out. So if you're at home, go ahead and pause the video and do it on your own. I'm going to copy paste a couple of times to make our lives move a little faster. So next, after adjective 2, we have another plural noun. Okay, so string, instead of adjective 2, this is plural noun 2. Scanner.next line, paste it again, and last but not least, we have our plural noun again. So now we'll have 3 plural nouns. So plural noun 3. Scanner.next line. All right, perfect. So notice what I've done here. I've created my scanner, then I went and asked for a person, a place, an adjective, first plural noun, second adjective, second plural noun, and third plural noun. So once we do that, if you run your code, it is going to ask you for all of these inputs, right? However, when it finally gets printed out, are the inputs going to get put in our Madlibs? No, not really, right? Because our Madlibs right now are still the placeholders. So this is the next step that we need to change. Now, instead of wanting to do person, what we're going to do is we're going to end that string there, but then we're going to add the person variable. So does that make sense, guys? When you're sticking in a variable to your strings, you have to use plus signs and then put 2 over here, end that string, add in your new variable called place, and then stick the rest in quotes. So what this is going to do, it's going to say, last summer my mom and dad took me and it's going to take the value of the input for person and stick it in there, to value of the input place and stick it in there for vacation. So similarly, let me go ahead and do this for all of them. So adjective 1 no longer needs to be in these brackets. Let's go ahead and end the quotes and add adjective 1. So again, we're taking these, we're ending the strict strings, and then we're placing our input variables in there. Nope, not place. So like this, plus, now has many is going to have quotation marks. Plural noun is going to be our own input, so go ahead and add that in. And there are many. After many, we're going to end our string, leave in adjective 2. Plus, now I'm going to do a space here because since these are double variables, they don't exactly come with spaces. So you don't want them to be stuck together. So we have to add a physical space in between. There, perfect. Now, if you don't understand what I'm doing here, all I'm doing is I'm writing my literal strings that I hard code and then ending it and then adding the changeable aspect and then doing that over and over again. This might take some time to understand, but over time I think the logic will make sense. Go ahead, pause the video, do this on your own. I'm going to go ahead and finish this real fast. Plus place, plus 2, plus verb. Oh, we forgot our verb, guys. I just realized that. We're going to have to ask the user for input for our verb. Remind me to do that. Plus plural noun 3. All right, so now everything is a-okay. We're all done. Let me go ahead and add in my verb here. So this comes between the two plural nouns. So let me copy this. Control C, paste. System.out.println, please give a verb. And then this is going to be instead called verb. Alrighty, so the logic, guys, was we created our scanner, asked for input, and assigned them each to their own variable. Then we printed the exact template back out, except we plugged in these variable values instead of using the curly braces as placeholders. So run our code here, and notice that it says, please give a person. So let's do Elmo. I don't know why I thought of him. Please give a place, Narnia. Or no, let's say Zootopia. I think that was a place at one point, wasn't it, in the movie? And then please give your first adjective. Lumpy. Please give your first plural noun. Monkeys. Lumpy monkeys. I think I spelled monkeys right. Okay, please give another adjective. Let's see. What's another adjective, guys? Rosie? Please give another plural noun. We did monkeys for our first plural noun. What's another plural noun that we can do? Let's do pandas. I'm really feeling the animal category today. A verb, sitting. Please give another plural, another one. Oh my gosh. Since we're already in the category of animals, let's finish it off with unicorns. All right, so let's read it. Last summer, my mom and my dad took me and Elmo, wow, I didn't know I was acquainted with Elmo, to Zootopia for vacation. The weather there is lumpy, okay. Northern Zootopia has many monkeys and they have many rosy pandas there. Wow, pandas can be rosy. And then finally, many people also go to Zootopia to sitting or see the unicorns. Well, okay, so this wasn't the craziest Madlibs. Honestly, in my opinion, the crazier you make it, the wilder your parts of speech are, the more fun it is. So beforehand, I already knew the different, I already knew what the Madlibs template was like, so we kind of took the fun out of that, right? So go ahead, take this template or whatever template you used, ask your parents or friends, and don't tell them what you're doing. Just ask them for random ones and tell them to make it fun, and then read it out to them. I'm sure we'll all get a good laugh. Okay, so this is our Madlibs game, a little bit advanced for our first week, but I think you guys can handle it, and watch it a few more times, think about it a little bit more, and we'll be good to go. Okay? So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next week's videos. Bye, guys.